Alright, hey everyone. No introductions needed. Let's just get right to it. I'm gonna go into the hidden grotto here, just one random map, and we're gonna experience the corrupted nexus, which has a corrupted boss. And this is a tier 16 map. In order to get this, you have to use a tier 15 map and corrupt it. So it is indeed a chance. And my suggestion is you should only be doing this in the very end game when you're able to get as many modifiers as you can on a tier 15 map. It's because certain requirements for bosses, especially to get your Atlas points, require you to have at least 5 or 6 modifiers on the rare tier 15 map itself. So make sure it's a tier 15 rare map with the 5. If it has more than 2 modifiers, it's already rare anyway. So just make sure it has 5 or 6 modifiers, and then you gotta corrupt it. And corruption sometimes removes a modifier, so just be careful of that. You won't be able to get Atlas points if you suddenly don't have enough modifiers when you're using this. Regardless, I'm not doing this for Atlas points. My Atlas points are pretty much full. I just want to showcase to you guys what this map looks like, especially if a new player, mid-game player who has not seen this map in the end game, and you're wondering what tier 16 looks like. Let's go. Now, most importantly, please note that my character is pretty much an end game character, so you're not going to experience the same level of clear speeds or combat. However, there's always a chance that Path of Exile lines up, the stars align with all the debuffs, and then the game just decides to kill you. That's totally doable. So yeah, let's go. There's a very awkward corner there. Do I want to do this now? I'm gonna save it for later. The corruption map, so it's gonna spawn more corruption as you clear it. It'll be a difficult fight. I want to do it after we clear this map, just to be safe. Even at level 94, I can still die. I'm very much aware of that, so gotta play it safe when you can, pick your fights. And you ideally just want to... Oh, that's a rare right here. That's super convenient. And not anymore. Okay, it's gone. How nice is that? We just deleted that, right? I'll showcase you guys in the future how to delete enemies. Maybe we'll go over my build, but not just yet. There we go. As you can see, it's spawning the corruption. In a corruption, goalless corruption map, basically you have a chance of your enemies who die combining into a stronger enemy, which is great for farming experience, getting loot drops and all of that stuff. It's really good. It just increases your chances. You're just not seeing any loots on my map because my filters are pretty strong, and you know, it's pretty endgame filter. I don't really need to get too many items at this point. There's a lot of redundant items as well in the game at this stage, especially those lower level real orbs and lower level, basically all the lower level orbs, right? Now at this point, if it's not greater or perfect, it's pretty much useless to an endgame player because there's no guarantee of you getting any value out of it. And this game is very much into gambling for item crafting, so it lowers your chances of wanting to be bothered at all. You'd rather just farm currency, to be honest. My advice to new players would be to farm currency and just purchase the items you want from more experienced players who have already crafted it. And once you reach the end game, you will already have the, you know, the, I would say, resources to be able to truly try out for yourself a heavier level of gambling, right? There's no guarantee in this game. Even the few essences that you can use to guarantee certain results are very expensive, first of all. They're difficult to farm and very expensive, and even if you're able to farm them and get them, you know, your item generally has like 6 modifiers. There's no guarantee you'll be able to get even 5 good ones, right? It's pretty rare, I would say. And I can speak for this quite well because I did manage to craft pretty good items myself, and I did also buy some pretty good items from other players. My general experience is that farming currency is more valuable than going for things like being able to just craft stuff for yourself. So for example, I crafted this armor. It's pretty amazing. As you can see, it has 2 tier 1 buffs, 2 tier 2, a tier 3, and a tier 5. The tier 5 obviously sucks, but you know, I got 5 good rolls. I decided to keep it, and it's been helping me really, really well. But This helmet is also something I crafted. This boot's also something I crafted. This one I got a drop, which is really good. These gloves, I had one of these, but it only had one slot. I just wanted to be able to get one more with an extra slot. I had plenty of divine orbs and I went for it. Right. Because at this point in the game, you pretty much will be stacking a lot of divine orbs, and you really don't want to be using it for anything else. Just save it until the end game, and just use it to trade with players to get the items you really want. Because there's no guaranteed crafting in this game. As I said, it's all RNG, right? You can maybe guarantee the first 2 or 3 rolls, and then the rest of it is completely not in your hands. And sometimes those last few rolls really matter, because this game forces you to stack resistances by punishing you with negative resistances in the end game. So if you go to negative 40, I think it's 40 or 45 resistances in the end game. I think if you do the Act 4, that becomes negative 40, right? Because you can get certain boons from the enemies you kill, which is like 5% resistances for all of them, except Chaos. You can't get Chaos Resist, and Chaos Resist doesn't go to the negatives in the end game. It stays at 0. So it's a very rare, as you can see, there's a lot of enemies casting Chaos spells in the end game, but it's pretty rare early on. So you don't really need too much of it. And even the enemies who do this in the end game, they don't hit that particularly hard, you know. Like I would say the spells that come from the non-chaos enemies are pretty much scarier. They can really do a number on you because they have a lot of debuffs, you know, like shock increases damage you take, chill slows you down, ignites just damage, but it's DOT still, so that's a bit worse. Poison, bleed come as a result of chaos, but you can somehow, I think, survive it. It's just the way it's designed. It's also a good reason to stack up chaos damage yourself if you're adding into your build, because not many enemies have that as a resistance. As you can see, I'm highlighting some enemies here. You can see the resistance they have is fire, ice, and lightning. Of course, it depends on the map's buffs as well, the modifiers in the map, but they very rarely have chaos resistance. So chaos damage is very, very good for you to do as well, not just the enemies. Yeah, there's also a few other ways you can take advantage of in order to get more, what do you call this? In order to get more currency. For example, in the strong boxes, you should get the Researcher's strongbox in the Atlas passive, because that actually increases your chance of getting more currency items. If I'm not mistaken, spirits also have some differences. I think the blue ones, I think, is more currency focused. I can't really remember. I think so. But the spirits weren't doing enough for me. And I just wanted to have more chance of getting different drops, so I just didn't really set this. But the strongbox, I definitely don't need the item quality strongbox. I was running that for most of the game and it sucks. So having the strongbox that gives currency was just better for me. It was just my my experience of having better results. Just looking for currency rather than items, and then at least I can craft what I want, and also I can trade with players if I don't want it. And I did do a lot of trading actually. I managed to sell quite a lot of items for chaos orbs, traded in a lot of support gems, chaos orbs, stuff like that. Got hundreds of divines and just crafted whatever I want. I mean, bought whatever I wanted basically. And as you can see, the key item that has strengthened my build is this one, Astramentus. It's a very powerful stat boost amulet. So that would be that. I'm just melting enemies, as you can see, but you can do this even better. There's so many builds out there that just pop enemies. Look at this, all these drops are just trash. My filter is just ignoring all of them. I think the biggest problem in this game in terms of loot drops is that the loot drops are not set to the level of the map you're in. For example, if you're in a monster level 81 map, the monsters are level 81, but the loot drops are not. So you often end up with loot drops that are, you've just completely out-leveled, and that's just not fun. I think in any game, you shouldn't be punishing a player for you know, going to high level maps and forcing them to add item rarity into their build, right? No drops at all here. So as you can see, this one is, these are all lower level. We've out leveled all of these. I think this is still level 79 or something, 80 maybe. But this is, these are like very low level items that are absolutely useless. There's no reason to even drop them. Like, there's no one who picks these up at this stage in the game, right? A rare level 30 or 40 item, what's the point at all, right? So it's a very weird choice that the game, you know, developers decided to make it a thing where you can drop really low level items all the way late in the game. But hey, I don't know, it's just something that I've been used to because I've played PoE 1 and 2, but I honestly don't think it's the right decision. I think they got to do something about it and maybe make the loot drops just more meaningful so that we don't do these. Like, this is the only game that I've played, like RPG game, that ever uses loot filters. Like, other than Path of Exile 1, this is the other game that actually uses loot filters that I've actually used filters for. I mean, maybe there's other games that use them, but I've only used it for these two. Particularly because all these loot drops are just bad, you know. They're really bad. So anyway, let me just take on this boss here. Zwali, the Bone Tyrant. Very interesting boss. Stacking up combo and what do you call this? My power charges here. As you can see, I'm doing a lot of damage from just my falling thunder. That's pretty much it. Oh, I've got a Eater of Flesh, rare boss, which is not there anymore. It's pretty rare. Yep, there we go. So as you saw in the corrupted maps, you end up with one more extra of these bosses. Nothing really special at this point in the game, you can pretty much clear it. But yeah, that's just it. So when you kill the last rare or the last boss, you end up spawning that extra piece of glob, which just dies, doesn't really do anything. And again, I'm in a tier 16 map, right? This is level 81. So I don't know what the point of that whole encounter was, because you just saw me pop it in like a second, maybe, right, give or take. And it's nothing, like the actual boss is stronger. The corrupted boss is nothing special. And this is going to be a little more challenging because of the way the encounter is going to happen. Look at this, right? And we're going to be spawning some rare enemies as this takes place. We're going to have to navigate our way around these mobs as well, so it's going to get a bit more difficult here. But it's a bit of screen flutter, and as you can see, it's just insane screen flutter, to be honest. But hey, it's what it is, right? It's what it is. Let's go through this. Where the others? Where the others? There we go. Touch these clasp hands to get the drops. The drops didn't show up just yet. You gotta clear the breach first. Not getting any spawns there. Where are the enemies? No. Sucks when the enemies just stop spawning altogether. Gotta like run the other side to look for them. Yeah, that's it. 28 breach. I've got more. Yeah, most I've gotten is like 47 or something. This map just sucks. If it was a nice open map, it would make a lot more sense. But in a map like this, yeah, it's difficult. It's very situational, this breach thing, right? Depends on the map and layout. But as you saw, tier 16 map, that's the corrupted boss. Really nothing special at all about it. There's 50 monsters left on the map somewhere, so let's just go and hunt those. Some other extra content. I feel like the game just doesn't reward exploration as much. You know, we're pretty much just jumping from rare to rare, especially because they didn't really want to do anything about the large maps that they created. Players are complaining the maps are too large, you gotta do something about those. And they were like, no, we're just not gonna do that. So they added sprint instead, and on top of sprint they also just let you locate where the rares are. So even when the map starts, you already know where the rares are. And I think that just ruins the experience of exploration because it's not like I'm going and looking for the rares like, ooh, where could the rare be, right? I just know where it is. It's there on the map. I can see it, right? On the mini map, I can see it on the map. Um, and this is like game design. So if you're not using it, like even if you gave me an option to turn off knowing where the rare is, right? See, like quest tracking, I could turn this off. Like I could, so even if you told me that I could turn off the location of where the rares are, other players will still be able to see it, and that means that you're just going to be farming faster and better than you, getting items that you know you're going to be probably missing out on. I mean, the FOMO doesn't really get to me, right? The fear of missing out is not really a problem for me, but I'm just talking like in general for other players. I feel like it's gonna suck, because it punishes new players um, to not be able to enjoy the game if you're not just looking for the rares that's already indicated on the minimap and just going and popping them. You know, if you're spending time to explore these maps, you're not getting as much value out of it. Because as you can see, there's really nothing much in these maps. Maybe you're lucky if there's a good chest hidden somewhere. But the majority of stuff are just, trash and even loot. Really, really questionable loot, right? Like, let me see if I can find another drop of weight. If this is casting a spell here, maybe there's an enemy nearby? I don't know. But as you can see, these are some of the loot drops that's dropping, right? Some are completely irrelevant to us, and some of these are completely out level. This is level 72. I'm in level 81, right? Like, it's not even close, like the level of stuff that I'm looking for. So, I don't know. It's just one of those things. But yep, that's just a tier 16 corrupted map. Just to showcase to you guys what's in it. Just head back to base right now. And right after you've cleared the corrupted map, something interesting happens. All the maps around will become a cleansed map. So as you can see, there's a cleansed buff here. What this means is there are some unique monsters. Oh, someone is trying to join my area to purchase an item. There will be some unique monsters that will be found in these cleanse areas that also drop some unique items. Oh, sure, buddy. Go for it. Um, and these unique monsters drop some unique items that corrupted monsters don't, right? So you could farm certain items from corrupted monsters, farm certain items from cleansed monsters. But the real benefit of the cleansing is that there's a chance one of these cleansed areas becomes a +1 to level of that area. This is on top of being irradiated. So this is a very, very important buff, right? Let's see whether we have it somewhere here. So these are my only cleansed maps. Did I not get it at all? There we go, this one. So as you can see, this has a plus. I'm out of bookmarks. Okay, great. Let me get rid of this one. +1. So as you can see, this area says it has +1 to monster level of area. This is separate from it being irradiated, which gives you +1 to the level of the monster itself. So at this stage of the game, you ideally don't want to put waystones into your tower, just so you're able to, to push bosses into the maps in the area. You could still push bosses regardless of when. It's just that you don't want to clear those bosses because you want to be able to roll the +1 monster level to monster level area, and then you want to use a tier 16 map, and that allows you to reach like the level 82 area. And level 82 is important to clear to get like the last boss Atlas skill point, right? And you don't need to apply irradiated because you will have organized forces by that time where non-irradiated areas with map bosses have +1 level. So that means you don't need to apply irradiated, you just want to force as many map boss waystones or tablets into the tower, and hopefully one of it hits the +1 to monster level of area. To monster level of area. That's a weird wording. I'm sorry, it just doesn't apply to my head. But yeah, so if you get a boss there, then you're able to take on a level 82 boss with the tier 16, what do you call this, map, and that will allow you to get this last Atlas skill point, right? I took brutal lessons. You can also take this one. So the map bosses have increased chance of getting corruption. This is really good because you have a high chance of just farming, and increases the rarity of items. This increases the XP. I decided to go for this one because I'm level 94, almost level 100. Might as well just go for it. It's far though, it's far, but we're getting there. So yep, that's it for this one. Just want to show you guys what happens if you clear a corrupted map and how tier 16 maps work and look like. They're pretty much the same as tier 15, a little bit harder, maybe higher level, but that's it. The one level difference is not really felt by the player. The one level difference you do feel though if you're taking on a boss, because if you have these, they increase +1 to the map boss difficulty. So if you're actually stacking these up in order to get to farm the final boss, you have to make sure that the map boss difficulty is at the max level, right? So you're gonna get 1, 2, 3, 4 difficulty, and that's gonna improve the boss's drops and all of that greatly. And that will result in you being able to get the full Atlas passives, but that's about it. Then the rest of the bosses become a little more interesting, little tankier, but nothing you can't nuke down if you go all out, right? Like if I went all out and just full stack my Falling Thunder with combos is one shot on basically every boss in the game. And as you saw, that corrupted boss just melted without me needing to do anything, so there's nothing special about it. I just hope they can figure out a way to make this more interesting. But yeah, that's just it. All right, see you guys.